Yeah, it's all done. It's Monday morning at Memory Bound, and we are located right in Iowa. If you're new, we're happy you found us, and if you're experienced, welcome back. It's Monday. It's a fall day today for sure, and that's perfect for what we've got going on today because it's Monday, and that means Teresa's here. And I walked back here and saw Teresa's cards this afternoon, and I was amazed.
This morning?
Oh, yeah, this morning. Teresa's listening. It was this morning, but I got here. Teresa, I got here early today, so it seemed like this afternoon. Well, not quite dark, but it was something. We are getting new windows here at our store, and we had to meet some window people here early this morning, and then it was rainy and stormy, so they can't do them today. So they're going to start them tomorrow. So when I say we, I mean Doug. So Teresa's here. We are kicking fall off. I'm going to walk up and look at our fall area. Teresa's making some amazing things with the Welcome Fall Mega Pad. And Welcome Fall is a collection from Cartabella. And I'm going to walk up while you are getting your last few things together.
I'm ready.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
Okay, well, let's go up and look at fall anyway.
Okay.
Here's your microphone.
Oh.
Teresa's getting her microphone on. We actually started,
ready.
Teresa, we started 1 minute early today.
What?
So we started 1 minute early. That's my goal, to be on time. My goal to be on time every day this week, and maybe a minute early. So we're going to go up and check out our fall section because it just moved.
You want me to?
Oh, that's okay.
Okay.
Teresa has really amazing things today, and you don't want to miss them. We don't have much of August left, but we have a lot of fall. We're going to have to do a store tour, and it's going to have to be a fall tour. Maybe we can schedule that this week so we can go through all these beautiful collections again. I didn't realize we had so much until we got it all together. Oh, look at the
plaid pumpkins.
Yes, I love that.
Those are so cute.
I don't think anyone's done pumpkins like that before.
No.
This is another one of my favorites, Teresa,
The flowers.
from Fall Fever, the floral. Yeah, I love it.
It's pretty. Has a nice
I think-
red plaid on the back,
Yeah,
too.
I think we need to reorder that one. And we've got dyes, and this dye I thought was particularly cool because it has a gourd.
And an
acorn.
acorns, mushrooms. That is a cute one.
So it's got things you don't normally see, and then you can get its friend over here next door with the leaves, and then its other friend is the pumpkins. And those are all from Fall Fever. And then Maggie does have a mixed media kit, Wild Like a Flower, Warm Like the Sun, that she designed. And
$16.99.
it's $16.99. It even has that little metal clip.
That's cute.
And all these layers. And she's got sticks that she went out and gathered for it. And everything's pre-cut, so you can basically just make it. Oh, thank you, Katie. Oh, you found it? Yeah. Oh, Katie just found something that was missing. Yay! Yippee! We love it when we find product that we searched for on Friday and couldn't find. So here's our fall section. And Teresa, speaking of Friday, let's show that book that we did Friday morning. We had a kind of more of a class than a demo on Friday. It was about an hour and a half, hour and 45 minutes. And we made this album that says Paradise on the front. And it's made with the Simple Vintage Coastal collection from Simple Stories. And we do have kits, and Katie just found another kit because we were missing a kit. And Teresa, you made a couple of these.
I made two, yes. We had a staff crop, and I have 2 trips coming up, and actually one's for a friend. I'm not going to do 2 scrapbooks the same, but I'm going to do one for a friend and then one for me.
What a nice gift. Did you find it pretty easy to make? I think these albums from Graphic 45, the trifold trifold waterfall albums are really nice.
I love it because you can get photos, all these photos, and so I'm going to have to remember to take horizontal because I'm so used to vertical now.
Yeah,
but
you
a
need
lot
to
of
split it in
times
half.
when I'm on vacation, I'll take a vertical and a horizontal of each shot so I can decide where to put it in my album.
That's a good tip though, really, if you are
drives
taking
my family a little crazy because I'm like,
like,
okay, wait,
one more.
But this is a beautiful album.
So it's $40.99, and it has everything you need to complete the album. All the twine, the chipboard.
And it has this magnetic closure, which I really like. And then the magnetic, I'm sure you guys saw me playing with it. The magnetic.
It is fun.
Closures on those, which is really nice.
Well, it looks like Janet made hers, and she said she loved it, so that's good.
Good.
That we are going to be having more things like that here on Facebook. More, I'm going to call them kind of classes.
Yep.
So there's the kit.
Everything you need in there, except for a little ink and adhesive.
Yeah, really, that's all. That's all you need.
It was very nice.
All right. Well, should we go from the beach to fall? So we'll leave the.
We don't have anything else to show.
I think we're good.
You need my cards.
Yes, we're going to go back to Teresa. Sure. Well, on Friday, we had the afternoon video where we showed all the new 49 and Market. And the only thing missing now from 49 and Market is the 12 by 12 rub-ons. All the other product has arrived. Finally.
Yay.
They said to check your microphone. Maybe just unplug it and plug it back in. See if that helps. And you know what? Lisa said she does the same thing, Teresa. She takes 2 pictures of each pose because she doesn't know which way. I would not have thought of that.
Well, and sometimes people close their eyes, or my husband will talk. Like he can't, he doesn't talk a lot, but in photos he's always like, and I'm like,
oh my gosh, that's hilarious.
Talking?
That is so funny.
Sometimes you have to use the one where the person has their eyes open and their
mouth shut.
Yes, their mouth shut.
Oh gosh, it looks like there's several people that made the album, so that makes me happy. I like it when people complete projects. We want you to do your projects and get things done and not just collect. Although I know collecting is fun.
Yep.
Okay, well, here we go. I'm really excited. I was excited about this demo, but then when I walked in and saw your cards, Teresa, I was in awe.
They turned out pretty cute. So I used the Cartabella Mega Pack. And what's it called? Welcome Fall. It's a 6x6. But the fun thing is you get a little bit of extra when they put the hole in the top. You get a little bit of extra, which when you're die cutting, I always cut the top. I die cut up here first because
especially if you're doing like little flowers. Like she's got several little pieces here in her turkey, and some of the flower pieces are small.
So the Mega Pack, it has 48 double-sided papers, and on the back it tells you there's 36 pattern papers, and then you get 9 solids, which I did not know.
You don't normally get those in the other paper packs.
The other ones. So, you don't have to buy cardstock when you're making your cards, which was like, I didn't have to match anything. It was wonderful. And then you also get 3 title pages. So Katie said this because, Kelly told me that Katie said it, and I'm like, wait, what? I just thought it was more paper.
Oh,
but it's not. So you get the cut aparts. And you can use these for scrapbook pages too. You know how Peggy uses 6x6 for her
Peggy's
scrapbook pages.
Gonna be here soon too.
Yeah,
she's coming back.
And the plaids in this are just amazing. There's another cut apart.
That paper right there. I love that green.
There's a lot of nice small prints that you can die cut. There's another plaid. That one's nice too for die cutting. Another cut apart. It's a different green. I really like it. I don't know what color to say.
Would you call it olive?
No,
maybe?
I don't
It's
even
not
think
olive?
it's olive. For me, it's not olive. I don't know what it is, but just a lot of fun. There's another, and then you get your solids. And then there's this cut apart that I used on several of the cards today, and it has a solid on the back, which is nice because if you don't use it for cut aparts, then you've got your solid on the back, which I really liked that idea. So I was just amazed. I've never obviously bought a Mega Pack before, and I think from now on that is the way. If there's a Mega Pack, I'm gonna get it because I so like the solids that came with it and the cut aparts.
And it does have a standard 6x6 pad also. Welcome Fall does.
It does.
So
if you don't need that much paper. or you feel like you have cardstock that might already match.
And it's actually an entire collection. We have everything from Welcome Fall. It's beautiful.
Yeah, I just use the paper pack, but there's a lot of other things. And then the other thing, maybe I'll just show the nice one, that I used was the Sizzix, and it's called Delicate Autumn Stems.
And I love that one myself, Teresa.
Yeah.
We ordered a lot of that because I want one for me.
Yeah, there's 8 dies in there for $22.99. And I was going to make a card not fall, but I didn't do it because I was so in love with the paper.
With the paper.
I was going to do like a bright, but you know what? I took a class earlier this year, and this is a bright. So what I did in this class is cut them out of white and then inked the flowers.
That's a great great sample.
So you can see this is definitely not a fall card.
Well, no, it's not. So it could be summer, it could be fall.
Yeah.
I think, now this sounds weird, but I think if you're making a card for like a hardcore Vikings fan, you could do it in their team colors, and it would be really fun.
So here's we have this at the store, just a die cut of all the pieces.
And they're bigger than you think.
Yeah. And you can always cut down, the stems are nice and long, but you can cut those off. I don't know, this one might be hard to see, but I cut that apart on one of my cards. So it's very versatile. I really like this one because it's like makes me think of a dandelion.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I like that too.
Cut that I used a lot today. So.
Teresa, we had a suggestion from someone, a couple people, calling this green color sage.
That is it.
Is that what you were thinking of?
I would say sage. Yes. It's a little bit of a different color.
All right.
All right. So I'll just start and go through the cards. This one is, a very easy card that you can do with the cut aparts. You just cut a piece for your base. You cut the cut apart there. And I did use the die cut. I snuck some behind it. And I pop dotted it, and then I'm going to bend my flowers so you can see it. There was a little flower on the cut apart, and so I put one of the flowers. It was the perfect size, and I cut it twice, and I layered it.
So that's not the die, or is that the die? Okay,
yes,
so you die cut the die.
Yeah.
Okay, I see.
I'm sure I can find the fall.
And it was the perfect size, and then just put it.
There was the flower. And I thought, oh my gosh, the flower from the die fits on there perfectly. So I like dimension on my cards quite a bit. So, and then I just added a little Nuvo drop in the center.
Oh my gosh.
And some twine. Very simple. These make very nice, fast, easy cards.
They do. I love cut
when
aparts.
you just want to send somebody a card just because. And I like to do that. So. Okay.
Teresa has a lot.
I do.
You have 9 cards. Well, 10 with the
I
one
went a little crazy, yeah.
We can tell that you really like this.
So this one, I did a couple different things. So the cut aparts, I cut this one in half because it was just too long for me. And you can see in this one, I just think they look like weeds. It's a bucket of weeds. And I cut them all in the yellow color, and then there's that tiny little pattern that just to differentiate it, and I just cut them apart. You can see there I cut the one I was telling you about that I cut apart.
The dandelion?
No, this
one. I see.
So I just cut pieces apart and stuck it out. So I didn't do
that makes your die more versatile when you can do that.
The big piece wasn't working for me. So and then you guys remember my Tim Holtz that I liked, entomology. So that's the background that I used. And I actually stamped it twice because it's a little bit small for an A2. So I just moved it over and then I stamped it again and it looks fine.
So you don't really even know that's in the background.
No.
But if you didn't have it in the background, your card might look a little...
Yeah, I used scattered straw on that. And then I used a die that's older that we're gonna get. It's called Potted, and it's one of the bigs. And this is a couple years old, I think. I can't remember. We don't have any right now.
It's coming, and it's really a great dye if you have any of like the Tim Holtz wildflower dyes or the delicate autumn stems.
And I think some people used it in maybe one of his latest videos. And it made me think, I should get that dye out because it's perfect for, I think, fall. You can put apples or whatever.
Yeah.
And other people, there's other dyes out there that are like this, but this one has the band on it, which I really like. And so I put the band on it, and I used some of the foundry wax on that. And you guys know that I showed that recently. I used that on another card, which is fun. So you put that right
there on the band.
I put it on the band just to give it a little bit of a rusty, shiny look.
Very cool, Teresa. Oh my gosh.
So that one was fun.
TJ says she uses that dye all the time.
Yay!
So if you want that dye potted, send us an email or give us a call, and we'll reserve one for you when they get here.
All right. So I had to use the new stamp because I bought the Scarecrow stamp. It's $24.99. And next week I'm going to be doing, it's just going to be Tim Holtz stuff. So I'll probably be using this one again because I really like the Scarecrow. And I think the corn
got
is
great.
too.
I think people like the bats. They like the moon, and we're like the corn a lot here in Iowa.
Yeah.
And he's got messages on it. It's not just so you could actually use the messages.
Yeah, and it's kind of Halloween, kind of fall. I mean, I think you could go either way with the stamp, which I like the versatility.
And you made it so it wasn't scary.
Yeah.
Your Scarecrow doesn't look scary.
Yeah. And I just used my ink pad on my Misty, and I just inked. I did the Scarecrow. No, I think I did the grass first, and then I did the Scarecrow, and then I did the crow. And I just used my ink pad, and I just used my finger to wipe a little. So I didn't care if it went over, there's a little brown in the grass.
So you didn't color them. You stamped
Nope.
them with your Misty, and you stamped 3 times.
Yep.
Oh my gosh, I don't think I would have thought of that, Teresa. I love it.
Oh, and I forgot to say, so I stamped him first, and then I used the woven 3D embossing folder. It's the one that kind of looks like burlap. And you don't do your 3D embossing folder first and then try and stamp, because it does not work, because the burlap is so deep. And these are $12.99, the 3D ones.
Melinda said that the corn stalks would be good background for the funny farm animals.
Oh,
Teresa,
they would.
Did you think of that?
Well, I started a card using the corn stalks as a background, so we'll have to, maybe I need to add a funny farm. I wasn't planning on it, but.
So what I love, Teresa, you really made a wow for me. So this stamp is solid, the bird and the grass. Mm-hmm. So she just put it in her Misty, and first she put green ink along the grass and stamped it, and then, I don't know if you did your brown ink next.
Yep.
And then she put black ink on the bird.
And even if it overlaps, can see there's some brown in the green, which is fine. It's just...
Oh my gosh, Teresa, I love it.
Oh,
I didn't know to do that. Now I learned a new technique today.
Yeah, and you can always take your finger and, wipe it a little bit or not care a lot. I didn't care a lot about the green and the brown. The black turned out pretty good sitting on his hat there. And then I put a little orange there, because this was orange, and then I inked orange a little bit.
That's really
did a little
that
sewing.
I love that. And it's not, and like I said earlier, it's not scary.
Nope,
it's just a
he's
fall
not
scarecrow.
He can be a fall scarecrow, yes.
Teresa, you've been asked by somebody. Can't go back far enough. Oh, Sharon wants to know what you do with all your cards.
I try and send some of them, a lot of them. And then I do have a box that I put them in. I send a lot of cards.
She sends a lot of cards. And some of them she leaves here at the store so that people who come in can enjoy them.
Yeah. I need to get stamps, actually, because I have some cards to send, and I'm out of stamps. I hate it when that happens. But, yeah.
Very, that's very cool.
There's that one. Now, this one's really different. And I hope that you can see it.
Yeah, we can see it very well.
This is just a monochromatic. And people do this a lot with white cards. They'll just die cut white pieces. And I've done it too. I love doing the white. But I thought, let's do it with the fall pieces. And so I just die cut all the the pieces out of craft, and I just, you know, I cut all the pieces and then I just kind of moved them around, and then you have to pick them up and glue them. And so you can't get too picky about it because they're just laying on top of each other, and just hope that you like how it turns out. I just used some multi-matte medium so that they stuck down really well.
I was going to ask you what adhesive you used.
Yeah, I used a multi-matte medium so that they stay stuck, because there's quite a few, in some spots like down at the bottom, there's quite a few layers, and you want it to stick down. And then the Happy Fall is just from the Scarecrow. That's one of the sentiments.
Oh.
The other two are kind of Halloweenish, but a Happy Fall is nice to have in your stash.
So Teresa, Sharon says, could you ink the green, brown, and black on your stamp with the Distress ink markers? She said she's done that before, and it works.
Yeah. Now you might have to spray. I mean, sometimes they dry.
They dry, and you have to.
But if you did one color at a time, that would probably work better. But when I use the markers, Distress markers, I will oftentimes give a little squirt to
wet them up.
Wet them. There's a word I'm not finding.
To do something with them.
Yes. So this is just a very simple, it's kind of fun in the different color, the craft color instead of white.
I like it.
But it would look totally, you could pick a different color and do it, you know, yellow or orange, a fall color, or white, I guess. You could do white, but I like the craft.
I like it too. All of your cards are amazing today, Teresa.
Thank you. So now we're going to get into some plaids. The plaids in this is so pretty, and I had a hard time not using plaid on every card because I was just like,
she had to hold herself back.
I really like the plaids. You know, and plaids you can use anytime, but this one has a nice plaid background. And then I just die cut the leaves there and layer them, and you just kind of have to figure out which colors, you know, are going to show up on your plaids. I did ink it a little bit with a brown ink, and then I had to use the mummy cloth because mummy cloth came out again. It only comes out at Halloween, and you can use it like this card you can make year round with different colors. You wouldn't have to use the orange in the fall. Enjoy each day. It's perfect for any time. But the mummy cloth is
Teresa loves it. She's excited. Now, speaking of mummy cloth, we have gotten in most of Tim's Halloween ideology.
Yeah.
The pre-existing items are on back order and they're coming, but all his new stuff is here.
So it just comes like this, and you can just cut a piece off, and you can see I inked mine just with some brown ink, and then I don't know if you can see, I just sewed it on the card. I don't think I did. No, I sewed it on the paper before I stuck it down. But I just went back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, so it stuck down, and then I just frayed the edges. And you can see I kind of
Teresa
poured it.
I remember you asking for this like a few months ago.
Yeah.
You were hoping.
Yeah, I was hoping
I
he
can't
would
remember
bring
if you
it back
used it
again.
on something or you wanted to.
Yeah. So buy your mummy cloth now, and then I'll use
Stock
it for
up,
the rest of the year. Yeah, I'm going to buy another one, so then I won't feel bad when I use it, because I'll be like, oh, I've got another one.
I got a spare.
Yeah, yeah. And then, of course, you know, you guys, I keep using the birds.
She loves the birds.
There's going to be blackbirds soon for Halloween, but this is the silhouette birds. And I actually die cut them a couple times because I wanted them raised up, and I didn't want to use pop dots, and then I inked them. And all of these papers, the solids that you're seeing, not the craft, but all the other ones are from the paper pack, from the solid paper.
And Teresa, when you group your flowers, I just wanted to point out how she put kind of the more solid flower in the back so that it kind of frames her other flowers. So if you're trying to figure out how to group them, just keep that in mind and keep your heights in mind. You want like different heights.
Yeah, you don't want
sometimes that's hard to do, to figure out how to put things together.
Yeah, and you can just chop the stems off and make it whatever, you know, height that you want. Yeah, I like that.
And also with the bird, I like how you've grounded it with this.
So I have him standing on top of the sentiment, so he isn't just hanging out in the in the air.
He's not like, he isn't flying, so he can't stand in the air.
Yes, his wings are clipped. All right, here's another one. Give thanks. And again, these solids are from, I didn't glue them down all the way on the top. The solids are from the paper pad. and a sage
Yeah,
plaid.
we figured out it's sage.
Yes, a sage plaid. And then we have this die. And this is an older die that I used to make the tree rings. This is the tree ring mini. He had a tree ring, a big one, and that one's discontinued. But the tree ring mini we still have, and that's $24.99. And what it does, it cuts out both sizes, and then it has an embossing folder on it.
Oh, so that's how she got the rings. So I'm going to get it up close so you can see the embossing.
Yeah, it's a little bit hard to see in the brown, but I did even ink it a little bit because I wanted the rings to
you made it subtle.
Bit.
It's not in your face, so that it's just the background.
But this is also a nice background for fall, and it came out I think in the winter. So when you look on Pinterest, there's lots of samples with deer
and snowflakes.
Yep. And then layering, you can layer them on top of each other. I think Maggie
did that to make them a little thicker.
I know, I made one too, and it's fun. So that's a fun die to have to stick.
It's a good basic.
It's a good, for if you have do manly cards and you want to use some wood, then yeah, it's kind of fun. And then I just put a little bow. I did some stitching.
So
some
Give
inking.
Thanks is from the pad.
Yep,
tablet.
That's from the pad. I cut that one apart too. It's a cut apart that I cut apart.
Cut apart the cut apart.
Yep.
Teresa, people are loving. I just want you to know that the hearts are just like, people are loving all of this.
All right.
And we're not done yet. So don't go away.
Yes. So this one, I did not use the flowers, but every year I complain kind of.
And she does.
There's no turkeys. They skip right over Thanksgiving and the turkeys. And I think I actually have turkeys in my house. Every year I'll buy a turkey something decoration just because it's kind of a challenge to find a cute turkey. And there aren't a lot out there.
I think for as long as Teresa has worked here, which has been quite a while, she has complained about Thanksgiving and turkeys.
They skip right over it. So this is the photo play Say It With Stamps, and it's called Tom Turkey Etch Dies for $9.99. And he does have a few little parts to him, but I thought he was pretty cute. And you could do him in different colors, but again, I just use my little extra pieces. And so, I use these Avery L pieces, you guys. I've told you that. So when I was using this paper pad, I was saving.
Oh, you're saving all those little
pieces. But when I was cutting Tom out, it was very helpful because his head could fit on a skinny little piece, and his
even his
plume.
Little. What's his plume? Is that?
Well, isn't that?
That. Oh, sure. Okay.
I don't know.
I was wondering what his gobbly thing is. I can't remember what that's called.
What is that called? His gobble? I don't know. Maybe somebody knows.
You know what, Jennifer? You have other turkey people. Jennifer loves turkeys and she collects them for Thanksgiving. Michelle, Thanksgiving's her favorite holiday. She has lots of turkeys.
Good. Okay,
they're loving it. And then you might have noticed the wobble on here.
Yes, so there's a wobble, and you guys know how I feel about wobbles.
We do know.
So you get 12 for $8.29, and we've got bigger sizes too, but this is the size that works in Tom.
That works for Tom.
Yes, and I still love the alphanumeric theory. This is $28.99, the big and the small. I didn't do that very straight.
But it's nice. It's a good way to see the size on an HU card. The big is nice and big.
Yeah, it is. And you could do all big letters. They're all uppercase letters, but they've got a set of, you've got the large set and the small set, and then you can put the little dash underneath. And I thought that was kind of fun. I could have used one of the sentiments from the pack, but I wanted a gobble wobble.
Well, I think it's good because the turkey is the main point of your card.
Yes. This would be a fun kids card, maybe. I don't know.
Or for Teresa.
Yes, or for
We're going to have to put that away after the video, Teresa.
I'm really tempted to send these out for my Thanksgiving cards this year.
It'd be fun.
Yeah.
Now, I want to point out, maybe you're going to, but Teresa has a piece of vellum.
Oh, yeah.
Behind the turkey. And let me see if I can get closer because, especially with the busy background, there's her vellum.
Sometimes the plaid is too much.
And to me, that was a wowzer because that makes your turkey show up a little better on a busy paper.
Yeah. He just needed
And
to be grounded a little bit.
You might not be able to see it that much on the camera, but
Yeah.
in person you can definitely
If
see
I
it.
put him straight on there, the other colors would have been fighting with his plume too much. So
Well, Wendy Jean says that's her favorite card. Somebody else said this was their favorite card.
Yeah, the sage is striking.
See, okay, Teresa,
All right.
are you good?
I'm done.
We got to move. I'm going to put this card out of Teresa's reach. Oh, here we go.
Yeah, so we're going to show, today's demo is going to be showing the colorized. So this is the Pumpkin Duo colorized. And I'm shocked that I don't have a Tim Holtz pumpkin die. Of all the, he's had a lot
any
of
them
variety.
You don't have any?
I don't have any pumpkin dies, because I looked and I thought, okay, I get to get a colorized. I was kind of excited. And so colorized is just fun. This is $22.99, and you actually get two pumpkins. And this one I think could definitely be a gourd and do it in different colors. But you can do different colors with your pumpkins as well. And so
I think of all of his new dies that just came out, that's probably the one I'm seeing the most on Facebook.
The pumpkins.
On the Tim Holtz Addicts page.
Yeah. So they're a lot of fun, and we're going to show how the colorized works today.
Did you know that Tim likes wobbles?
Yes.
I didn't know that. I did not
does.
know that.
He
Bev
likes
mentioned it.
too.
Thank you, Bev.
It's kind of a kid thing. He's kind of a big kid, and he does show those. So I'll show these cards, and then we can go on. And so this one is just using the colorized pumpkin, and you can see that I did sneak in a little bit of a plaid.
You did?
Behind there.
Oh, let me get up close. There it is.
I did, and
a very subtle plaid.
Yeah. And then I just use the flowers. Oh, and the flowers, the daisies, or I don't know what you want to call those, the black-eyed Susans maybe they could be. They have a layer piece that you can put on, and so I did that, and I popped it on both of those, so it gives it a little bit of a dimension. Yeah. And I inked everything, and yeah.
Teresa, I have to jump back to the turkey because a lot of people are saying waddle. And when I saw it, I thought they thought, oh, you could put waddle right here, but they're talking about his little thing.
Oh,
it's the waddle. So thank you, everybody.
I'm like, did I spell it wrong?
No. But I was just not thinking right. Okay. And then Janine says that's what it's called, but that was her grandma's name for it, so she assumes
that her grandma knows.
Yeah, grandmas know those things.
So that one I did some inking too, and I thought, oh, that would be pretty to stick some flowers behind it.
Well, the idea that you put the flowers behind it is...
Yeah, I like that one.
Teresa, this has got to be one of your best ever
that was my favorite card, I think. But that was the first one I made, so...
And at first I thought you distressed the edges, but you didn't. You used the that die from Tim Holtz, which I can't think of.
Stacked decal.
I have that at home too. I need to use it more.
Yeah, because I get tired of just square, so it just gives enough. Or if you have the decal trimmer, then that'll work too. You can make it a little bigger, a little smaller if you have the trimmer.
Kay said now she loves this one too. Yeah. I'm telling you guys, this is like, these cards are amazing.
It's just because I made so many this week that people have choices.
There are lots of choices.
Right. This one I just put that gourdy pumpkin on a banner, and I went with the reds, all the reds. And I kind of, there's two, red has...
they're a little different front and back.
So I just used both of those. I just used one color and then the green for the stem. And again, one of the cut aparts. And I just used a banner and put a little bow.
And then we have a question. Autumn is Calling. Is that from the cut apart?
Yes.
So that's from the tablet also.
They were all
it's from the Mega Pad. You're probably not going to get that in the regular 6x6, but those are those extra greetings, which are great card greetings.
They are. I used them on a lot of the cards. And then it has the brown on the back. If you don't need 3 of those, you can use
I
the
see
brown.
what you're saying.
Yeah.
So you get 3 of everything.
Yeah.
Love it.
All right. Do we want to show the other ones first, or you want to cut?
Well, let's cut, and then we'll show the others.
So,
what we thought today is we would show you the colorized dies. And a long while back, we opened one up. We showed you inside the dies how they're labeled, but we never have actually cut it and put one together. Well, maybe we did the zebra way back when.
Did we?
Yeah, I think so. But maybe can you explain the dies and how they're labeled and how they work? And then we're going to Teresa's going to make a pumpkin for us. And then there's lots of, while she gets her paper out, there's lots of colorized dies. You know, we're showing you the pumpkin today. But then there's the frog or toad called Myron. And we'll show you all the other ones that we have in stock. We have Christmas ones. And we even have the hippo. I can't think of her name.
I can't think either. But, so with the die set, you get 12 dies.
She's counting them up.
Let's see. So, you get 6 and 6. Yes. So each pumpkin has 6 dies. You don't have to use them all if you don't want, but it really gives you a nice layering. So I've separated. This is the regular, I'm just going to call it a regular pumpkin. And then this is the Gordy pumpkin that we're going to call it. And I just have my dies all smushed together
Bernice
here.
Is the hippo. So thank you.
Bernice,
thank you very much,
yes.
Jan. I knew we would figure it out.
And Gladys. I'm in love with Gladys.
So all the dies are etched with the die number from Sizzix, and you'll see the color.
So it's very tiny, and it will tell you what color that you need to cut to colorize it, to make it look like the pumpkin on the front. And sometimes when I get the colorized, the first time I cut it, then I use the colors that they say, but then usually after that, I just do my own thing. And sometimes I will look and say, oh, that's where, just to help you figure out where it's going to go.
So this has got, like, for example, orange ones. So you would have 3 oranges, it looks like, or maybe 4, because there's orange 4 and orange 2, and I thought I saw orange 3.
Yep.
And then you have a green.
And they actually have you cutting the base out of green. They say green 1 and green 2. And the reason they do that is because, here, I cut mine out of red.
You rebel.
I know. But when you put the stem on it, then there's going to be some show through.
Oh, that's why it's green.
So that's why it's green. So I only have 1 green. I think there's only 1 green in the package. So I just cut it out of red. But I guess here you can see through my pumpkin, I cut it of yellow because you can see the yellow showing through.
So if you wanted to make your pumpkin purple, you would have purple 1, purple 2.
Yeah.
Maybe purple 3 might be pink or whatever.
And then the other thing is when you cut the die, and this might be really hard to see, but there is, so when you look at the die, there's impressions. That's not, those squiggles are not going to cut, but there's impressions that are going to show on your paper. Oops, I bent it. Can you see it? I don't know.
Yes, no, we can see it perfect, Teresa.
So that shows you where, like down into the pumpkin, there's an impression. So that's going to show you where you want to glue your next piece. So maybe with the stem, it's not that big a deal because you can see
there's not a lot of options.
It fits right over it. But some of the other pieces, when you start die cutting, so like this piece, oh, it fits right there. And then this piece fits on top of there.
So it basically tells you where to put things.
Yes.
And you don't have to guess or think, oh, it's a millisecond from the left or whatever.
Yeah.
You're going to have those embossed lines, and then your next piece fits right on top of it, which is super cool.
It is. And he does have videos for each of his colorized that shows. And the pumpkins aren't that hard to figure out because it goes big to small. But like when you do Gladys, there's some pieces that you kind of need to set down first
So here's Gladys. Here's a Gladys that Teresa made up for us. It
I
depends
don't
on the
know.
die, how complicated they are. But Gladys is also colorized. And I think you can see the different layers here.
Yeah. So some of them, it's a little bit. And at Christmas time, he's had a Santa, and you kind of have to do it in order.
Is it this one, Teresa?
I didn't do that one. It was the other, the full.
That
body
one's
one
called
that-
Santa's Wish.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, there is a full body Santa that was. And then here's another colorized. I guess I'm just going to show them, and then we're going to cut one out. And that's kind of cool because that's got the acorns, and that's called Festive Trims. So you can see all the different pieces. And then recently, Spencer came in. Spencer came and went, but we do have him made up. I think Janine made him up.
Yeah, he's fun.
And so you can see all those layers. It looks like Spencer has a lot of layers, Teresa.
How many pieces are it?
Well, it looks like 6, maybe 7 dies, but lots of little pieces on him.
Yeah. And sometimes you can skip the, if you don't do little pieces, a lot of times you can just skip some of them, which I do sometimes. It just depends.
And there's the bird and egg, and then the moon. This is Otis.
Yes, Otis is fun. And I did that one last
Was this
week.
last week?
Yeah, and so you can see, you don't have to stick with traditional colors.
See, she made him pink and yellow instead of the moon colors.
Okay, I've got those for you.
And then I think Myron probably has a lot of pieces.
Yeah.
So Myron, it's really handy to have that those embossed lines so you know what goes on what. And so you don't put something on in the wrong order. And Myron is $34.99. Usually if they have a lot of pieces, they're
Yeah, they're a
$34.99.
little more sometimes. Here's another pumpkin that I made. That was last week too, that I showed the white, and then I inked it. So I cut most of the pieces. Actually, I stamped the base, or one of the pieces I stamped first and then die cut it, and then I inked the pieces because I thought that would be fun. And here's just a sample that we have in the store that's just traditional colors. So you can see they used the green base because you can see inside there, and they just use straight oranges. So that's what a real pumpkin might look like.
Maybe it's pretty cool. I don't know how they engineer all of those things. Well, Teresa, let's make one
Okay.
up and see how it works.
So I've cut some out. So I was gonna cut some more. Let's see.
Teresa's
which
got her
ones.
colors.
I don't know what I'm gonna do.
Well,
Let's
she's
see.
doing it. She's doing it like she's gonna make it up as we go
Yep.
along.
So we've got our switch. Let's see if I've got all the pieces. Do I have enough colors for everything? That's one of the things that's nice about the switch is you can,
Teresa, while you're laying those out, and Teresa's
Thinking
looking
as I'm
at. She's
going.
looking at the. I'll ask you a question in a minute. You're looking at the color numbers. Because remember, each one will say like orange 1,
Yeah.
orange 2, orange 3. So
That's
Teresa's checking it
4.
out to make sure we get them right.
let's see,
Pam
that's
wants to
3.
know, when you have dies that are, joined together, how do you cut them apart?
Oh, I use wire clippers usually. Sometimes they'll have little notches that end up on them, and I'll just use a little bit of a wire clipper to get in there and get them apart, and then if there's a sharp edge, just to clip it off. I don't have to go back, but you can go back with the switch.
So she hit that. She didn't have to go back, but she pushed the button, so she's going back.
I went all the way.
Oh, you don't. Well,
I don't think I got that pumpkin. I think I pushed it.
she accidentally pushed the button.
I'm gonna go through again.
All right, so
Sorry.
she's going through again, and Kelly wants to know about using the Big Shot on these, and absolutely.
Oh yeah.
You could
Yeah.
use your Big Shot. If they're small enough, you could use your Sidekick. I don't know that pumpkin, the base of that pumpkin would fit in your Sidekick.
2
We're-
inches. Yeah, I think I used my sidekick.
Did you?
I have one on my table. I think I used it on there. Oh, I did get it. Because I stopped it and pulled it back through, I have a little miscut. That's
Oops.
all right. It's okay.
So Teresa used the Big Shot plus switch machine, which is the electric die cutting machine. And it's got the bigger platform so you can cut lots of things at once. If you have any problems with your hands or your wrists or your shoulders, it's nice because you don't have to crank. And we have been selling a lot of these switches, and we've had really good feedback on them.
All right. So yeah, you can really see the indents on there. On that one. So that's the, you go biggest to smallest. We'll see how this turns out. Sometimes you just have to play around with the layers just to see what
colors you like. If you want to go dark to light, you're going dark to light, I think. Aren't you?
I did cut some pumpkins out and put them together that I didn't like because I was like,
oh, the colors, you mean?
Yeah. And the way I layered it, I just didn't like how. See, it's going to show through.
Let's show that up close, because is that your next layer?
This next piece, yeah. So you can see the indents.
So then show how it's going to just hold up what goes on top of that yellow piece, because I think you can see that really well. So then that fits right on top of those embossed lines.
And then we're going to go yellow again.
So they've made it very simple.
Yeah.
Colorize, they started doing the colorize, do you think maybe 2 years ago, Teresa?
I think it's been longer than that because we have that owl was the first one, and I think that was like 3 years ago.
Okay.
But they've gotten better about their dyes. They've gotten smarter because sometimes they'll group pieces together. What am I doing?
So what they'll do a lot of times is, I don't know if any of these dyes have, but Myron might. If you have like small pieces, especially like these eyes, they'll be on the same dye.
Yeah.
So if you have smaller pieces, they'll put them on the same dye if you're cutting the same color out.
And I would, at home, I would be inking these, but for live TV, we're just...
we're going live, so
we're going...
Teresa, it looks good though. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I think I'm going to like it.
I like it a lot.
Because I like the little bit of pattern that I had sneaking out on that one. So
yeah, on this one she has a kind of a subtle plaid.
And I probably also would be using the
toilet paper.
So I don't have to use liquid
Either
glue.
that or the whiter score tape you could use on these because they're smaller.
And then I forgot my pumpkin.
Janet says she's been using her switch a lot and she really likes it. So the toilet paper adhesive is a two-sided tape, and you would put your tape, like Teresa would have put it on the back of her paper before she die cut. And then as she die cut it, she could just peel that off and then stick her pumpkins together. But Teresa didn't know she was doing this till right before we started the video. And I'm like, yeah, we're like, well, let's show how to do the colorized dyes. Oh, I like it.
It turned out good. Yay.
It turned out really good.
I would use that one, definitely.
Hang on to it. Donna loves her switch also. So we're getting lots of good feedback on the switch.
I like mine. All right.
So that explains the colorized dyes a little bit. Tim has engineered them. I'm going to say engineered because that's really what it is. To make it easy for you to put them together and make dimensional looking items like these pumpkins.
They look real, yes.
And Wendy Jean said you could even go crazy on the pieces with stencils before gluing.
Oh,
so
yeah.
you definitely could do that.
Using pattern paper or, stamping or stenciling on your pieces.
Teresa, everybody is talking about how much they love your cards today.
Oh, I thought you were going to say love the wobbles.
Well, okay. Here, Teresa, I'll let you have the turkey back.
He's so much fun.
Oh, that is really amazing. Amazing demo, Teresa. Super day. Tomorrow, let's see. Tomorrow what we're doing is we are launching a card kit with Janet.
Oh, awesome.
So Janet will be in tomorrow. Just showing the card kit, and it's really cool because this time, and I don't think we have her cards here, but you can see them tomorrow. This time, she's actually teaching it as a class. So her next card kit, Time to Flourish from Graphic 45, will be taught in a Facebook group as a class, and we haven't done that yet. We're pretty excited.
It's not tomorrow. She's
No, it's sneak peek, and we're launching it tomorrow. So tomorrow, you can start purchasing her kit. And then the class is in September. And all that information we'll share with you tomorrow. We're kind of excited. We want to do more classes and making things online. And we have our big thing in October, which Teresa's participating in. I think you might have seen Teresa's, a little bit of her banner the other day. Hey, before we go, Karen says, do you remember Carol Duvall? She would call working with those small pieces fussing and monkeying.
I like it.
I love it. I remember Carol Duvall.
You have to monkey around with them a little bit
I remember watching her. Teresa, everybody says amazing cards.
Right.
And thank you so very much for another wonderful Monday. Bye, everybody.